I use Tortoise switch machines for my turnouts. I opted for a very lightweight subroadbed using foam, but I don't want to mount the switch machines directly to the foam, so I created small plywood sections where the turnouts will go. This way, I can screw the Tortoise switch machines to the plywood. I placed the plywood section based on the turnout locations in the track plan. Then I painted the subroadbed a tan color using wall paint. I marked the track positions with a screwdriver and a black permanent marker. For the roadbed, I use Woodland Scenics track bed. Before gluing anything down, I test fitted the roadbed, the turnout, and the flextrack. Once everything looked good, I used acrylic glue to secure the roadbed to the subroadbed. For the curved section, I used a custom-made gauge. Since I couldn't find a Pico Traxetta with a 560mm radius, which is about 22 inches, I designed and 3D printed my own. I let it dry for a few hours before moving on. I also 3D printed a gauge to help me keep the parallel tracks evenly spaced. Then I added roadbed under the turnout by carefully measuring and cutting the Woodland Scenics track bed. For the curved section, I soldered two pieces of flextrack together using flux-based and low-temperature solder to avoid melting the ties. I have this battery-powered soldering iron with adjustable temperature. I set it to 200 degrees Celsius, about 400 Fahrenheit. The two metal blocks also work as heat sinks. soldered track feeders to both the turnouts and the flextrack, again using low temperature solder. I prefer to pre-solder the feeders to the bottom of the rails, instead of soldering them to the side of the rail after the track is glued down. I also soldered a longer yellow wire to the frog feeder. Now it's time to glue the track down. I used acrylic caulk because it's easier to remove the track later if I need to, at least before ballasting. I left the 3D printed track spacers in place while the glue dried. Then I marked the track position in front of where the T-tuned farmer's elevator will be. Here, I'm test fitting the turnouts before gluing them down. I decided to replace the piano wire that came with a Tortoise with a thicker one. I purchased 0.8mm piano wire on Amazon and shaped it following the Tortoise instructions. I inserted a piece of 2mm EVA foam between the Tortoise and the subroadbed to absorb a little vibration while the motor is running. Once the Tortoise is fixed in place, I connect the Zip-C accessory so I don't have to solder any wires to the pads. And here the points are moving slowly. Then I trimmed the extra wire and a turnout was ready to go. I'm testing the track mechanically by pushing a couple of boxcars around the tracks and over the turnouts. I wanted to make sure the transition from track laid directly on subroadbed to track with roadbed is smooth, and that it doesn't cause any issues with the couplers. I connected all the feeders, and now it's time to test the track work with a locomotive. I want to make sure the wheels pass smoothly over the turnouts, paying special attention to the frog and point areas. And everything looks just fine. The locomotive and cars ran smoothly, so mission accomplished.